I'm getting cash flowing production at a great valuation, and essentially those drilling opportunities are coming for free. So there's a really nice way to kickstart our growth in the Williston using our partners' capital and really well acquired drilling opportunities with it.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Zephyr Energy CEO Colin Harrington. Colin, very good to speak with you. Congratulations on your equity raise, as well as the acquisition you've just announced. Starting with the raise, which was oversubscribed, can you take us through the rationale behind it?
Sure, happy to, and nice to see you, Stephen. I mean, the decision to raise equity is never undertaken lightly, and it's been a long time since we've done a raise of this scale. But for us, as a board, given the recent catalysts we have, which is an exceptional well result in the Paradox and real excitement around how we develop those wells in the future, combined with a $100 million commitment from an investor in the U.S. to stimulate our Williston drilling. And lastly, an acquisition opportunity that presented itself to us that has great synergies both with our existing portfolio and that $100 million drilling investment. We thought it was an appropriate time to raise money, strengthen our foundation, and really accelerate through this next part of our growth. And I should say on that point, the board here, and I speak for all of them, and certainly for myself, we have never been more confident in the positioning of this company. I'm really excited about the next stages here. We are, as a management team and a board, we are devoting all of our time and our careers to this play. And just as importantly, we're contributing our capital as well. Every single member of the board, every single member of the senior management team has contributed it into this raise to almost $1 million of capital that we're putting in. So we're really confident in the direction of the business. And our goal is not to take this and move from 3P to 5P and sell to a larger operator. It's to go from 3P to 20P and beyond with a compelling and large-scale development program here. Probably with a partner, but we see a number of paths forward. So that was the impetus for the raise, and I'm happy to walk through the different pieces as we go through this.
Could you maybe tell us a bit behind your non-operated investment strategy?
Yeah, happy to. And I think it's always important to step back and remember why we've been doing that non-op portfolio. We started in 2021. There was no production in this company. Over the last 3 fiscal years, we've produced over 1.5 million barrels, and that was through 14 different acquisitions with great paybacks. We've always paid back in under 2 years on the deals that we've done, and it's given us the capital to move from a company that was dependent upon raising money to cover its costs to a company that's been able to fund not only all of its costs and all of its balance sheet, but certainly a lot of development activity as well. So it has been the foundation for our growth. The Paradox is the upside, but you can only grow the upside in proportion to the foundation, our cash flow foundation. And the bigger we grow that, the bigger we can and faster we can develop the Paradox. So that's really the impetus behind what we're doing. I'm happy to talk about how this acquisition fits in, but I think before we get there, just the important thing to remember is we're going to kick off a formal process on the Paradox in the very near term. And again, one of our factors here in thinking about our positioning for that is we wanted our foundation to be as strong as possible and our position to be as strong as possible when we're going in and talking with much larger investors and much larger operators. So that was another key consideration here.
Okay. Well, Colin, could you give us more details about the Rocky Mountain acquisition then?
Yeah, absolutely. So it provides 2 things. It provides immediate cash flow and it provides growth. It's about 400 barrels a day. It's low decline, mature production with operators that we know in basins that we know very well. It's operators like EOG and and Continental, really good operators. So we know the assets well. We're paying $7.3 million for it, and there is a liability shield associated with that if there are any asset retirements in the near term. But $7.3 million, we negotiated this deal when oil was at $59 a barrel. And at those prices, it looks like it's going to throw off about $4 million in cash flow next year versus a $7 million purchase price. It's a really accretive acquisition for us. It's probably the best valuation I've done on PDP assets in my career. So we're very excited about how the acquisition looks, but there's a second part to it, which is incredibly important. And that is on this acreage position over the last 2 to 3 years, they've drilled between 20 and 30 wells a year. And already since signing our agreement here, we've been given 13 new well proposals, which will be drilled over the coming months. In our deal with our private equity funder, we bring acquisition opportunities to them. We acquire the assets, and then they fund the drilling part of the capital associated with it. And in this case, I'm getting cash flowing production at a great valuation, and essentially those drilling opportunities are coming for free. So there's a really nice way to kickstart our growth in the Williston using our partners' capital and really well acquired drilling opportunities with it. So just very, very excited about it all around.
Just going back to Paradox, what can we expect from Paradox in the near term? What are the next steps?
Yeah, and clearly some of the capital we raised this time was for the Paradox. It's largely to prepare to turn the existing wells into producers. It's everything from workovers and well costs to items that will come as we tie in the infrastructure like meters and so forth. We are very actively working with Enbridge and with our gas processing partner right now to try to accelerate production from these wells as quickly as possible. That's our key goal for this year. It is interesting to note, and we said this in the press release, given the environment right now, we're getting a lot of incoming inquiries from companies that would like to co-locate and utilize our gas for offtake to generate power or for compressed natural gas. These are cryptocurrency miners, CNG companies, data centers. There's a lot of that going on in the States right now. There's a need for natural gas, and we'll certainly balance those up, whether it's a proportion to accelerate the nearer term, CNG type structure, or, obviously in the long run, we want to be selling a lot of our gas to the pipelines, but we'll have alternatives for both. So a lot of news coming up there on the Paradox. When I think about what's coming out next, we're going to be releasing our annual results next week. And I think I should take a minute to make sure that I can put to rest some of the rumors in the market. In the year ends that are coming out soon, we've identified that we are going to be taking a write down on our existing non-operated assets. This is an impairment, and it's purely a non-cash accounting adjustment. This is an accounting construct, and it's related to the weakness in the oil price over the last year or so. It's not in any way related to our bank debt. The bank debt is completely different. That's done on a PV10 valuation versus what the accounting formula gets used, where you have a much, much higher discount rate and different factors that come into play. So we're really confident in our balance sheet. We certainly look forward to everything else in the annual report. It's backward looking. It's already been released into the market. The forward looking news coming up is very exciting. We do plan on giving more of an evaluation of the Paradox assets to our investors in terms of economics and what we think flow rates will look like and the overall development plan. We'll have a CPR that's been commissioned that is underway right now, and certainly a fair amount of news on the infrastructure path. And really importantly, we're kicking off partnership talks. We are going to look to see if it's the right time to bring in an operator or a farm-in partner or a financial investor like what we've done in the Williston to help us progress this even more quickly. Because as I've said before, the board has a huge amount of confidence in where we're positioned and how we drill and complete these wells. And lastly, speaking of investors, we've already delivered a large investor to fund our Williston Nonop, and I think you'll see a lot of news flow on that as well. So clearly a lot going on right now, and while it's been a big lift to get this over the line, the acquisition and the fundraise, we're really, really well positioned, and I'm looking forward to the next few months.
Well, Colin, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated on your progress. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
My pleasure. Thanks again, Stephen. Take care.
You too. Colin Harrington, CEO of Zephyr Energy.